Is it? Actually, I didn't know. Yeah, it could be. So my name is Max. I'm a CEO at goscore, and at goscore we are delivering, or we are building, the first cross-border credit scoring company. Oh, that's a fantastic question. I think the first problem is pretty technical. So in one country you have an access to one sort of data, and if you go to another country you have a different sort of data. Like for example, in Norway we have gjeldsregister, like a debt register, which does not exist in Sweden, for example, and that's like a tiny little things. However, we still have like the same companies, like Dun & Bradstreet, right? So they are presented in different countries, and why don't they transfer the credit score? I don't know, I'm not working there. But what I know for sure is that they built every single system based on the local data, and that's how they kind of like develop the whole technology. So you come to the local data set, you kind of merge it all together, you bring the result. And then you come to a new country, you generate this new data set, and you kind of come it all together. That's really interesting, because back, I think in 1989, like the first companies like FICO in the US like evolved, and they've been like the one who set the bar, like how you should calculate this and that things, right? And they played with the data they have, and they only had like a standardized, generalized data over the whole country. Basically, in simple terms, that would be like, this is how much average American or average Norwegian spent on the grocery every single month. That's only the data they could have, because they didn't have an access to the banks, and they will not be able to, or they don't want to share the data in the first place. So that's why we kind of started with that. The reason why we didn't move on, I don't know, but the first thing is that, to our experience at least, is that there were no good scalable access to the data before PSD2. And the PSD2 allowed us, or GDPR and the PSD2 together actually, allowed us to go to the bank and say, hi, this is a customer, he wants to get his data, please share it with us, because they give us the consent to collect it, right? And then we can actually bring the personalization, so we can bring the calculations that actually affect and represent your personal economy at like the granular scale that was not even be able before. So that's also like answering the previous question, like why it was not developed before, because you could not, as a credit scoring company, you could not even build that. It's not feasible. You can get access to maybe a few of the banks, maybe a few of the accounts, but at the larger scale, that was not even possible, like technically. Oh, I think first of all, we attend every single one. We attend every single one in Stockholm, in Denmark, in Copenhagen, in Helsinki, right? So, because we are from here, we are from Bergen, and we want to get to know like the whole ecosystem. However, we didn't have an opportunity to expose ourselves to other Norwegian startups because we didn't have this platform before. So, being here for the first time, it's must have. It must be, because like, if you will not be here, then you will not be able to expose and meet other Norwegian fintechs and find an opportunity to work with them, or expose yourself to the banks, which also kind of like travel together with us. So they come as a Norwegian delegation to the Stockholm. That's how we meet there. Then we come to Helsinki, then we come to Copenhagen, and it's great. Don't get me wrong, like great events, every single city, fantastic, different aspects, great. But we need our own sandbox to play with. We need our own kind of like a little bit local, a little bit maybe not Oslo style, not like international vibe, but actually like focusing on the local connections, on the how to bring the technology we have developed to the Norwegian banks without like us being like thinking first like, oh, let's go to Sweden and then bring it back to Norway. I think that would be diversified, thriving sandbox, I would say.
Diversified,
thriving sandbox.
Love it. Great.
Thank you so much.
Great to meet you. Thank you very much.